Listen, if she's pulling away right now, your first instinct is probably to think she's not interested, that she's ghosting you, or that you did something wrong. But what if I told you the opposite might be true? What if the reason she's creating distance isn't because she doesn't care, but because she cares too much and she's terrified of what that means? Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal completely goes against everything you've been told about female psychology. And there's one specific behavior at the end of this video that 99% of men completely misread. When you see it, you'll know with absolute certainty that she's fighting her own feelings for you. First, you need to understand something disturbing. The same woman who's acting scared of you today might have already imagined a future with you. And that's exactly why she's running. I'm going to show you the exact signs that separate a woman who's genuinely uninterested from one who's actually protecting herself from falling too hard. Once you can read these signals, everything changes. You stop panicking, you stop chasing, and you finally understand what's really happening beneath the surface. So let's start with the uncomfortable question. Why would a woman run from someone she actually likes? Picture this. She was warm, engaged, and flirty. You had great conversations. She laughed at your jokes, the chemistry felt undeniable. Then suddenly, she goes cold. Her texts get shorter, she's suddenly busy all the time. The energy shifts completely. Your brain immediately tells you she lost interest and you should move on. But here's what most men don't understand, and this might sound crazy. Sometimes the strongest feelings create the strongest resistance. There's actual neuroscience behind it. When a woman develops unexpected feelings, her brain releases the same stress hormones as if she's in danger. Her amygdala literally treats emotional vulnerability like a physical threat. Her body is chemically telling her to run from you, not because you're bad for her, but because you might be too good. Vulnerability is terrifying, especially for women who've been hurt before or who pride themselves on being independent. When real feelings start developing, it triggers deep fears. Fear of losing control, fear of getting hurt, and fear of wanting someone more than they want her. She's probably already tested you without you even realizing it. Small tests, deliberate distance, even a bit of manufactured drama, all to see if you'll chase like every other guy. The protective mechanism kicks in. Create distance, build walls, pull back before it goes too far. This isn't logical, it's emotional survival. Ironically, the more she likes you, the harder she might push you away. But here's the key. When a woman is scared of catching feelings, she doesn't just disappear completely. She leaves clues, patterns, and contradictions that don't make sense. So how do you tell the difference between genuine disinterest and emotional self-protection? Here's the first major sign. Hot and cold behavior. One day, she's texting back instantly, laughing, sharing personal things. The next day, she's distant, taking hours to reply, giving one-word answers. If she truly didn't care, the temperature would stay consistently cold. But this back and forth, that's internal conflict. Part of her wants to lean in, while another part wants to run. Pay attention to when she goes cold. If it's always right after deep conversations or vulnerable moments, that's your smoking gun. Second sign, she gets defensive when you get too close. You ask something personal, give her a meaningful compliment, or casually talk about the future, and suddenly she deflects, makes a joke, changes the subject, or gets uncomfortable. Women who aren't interested simply don't engage. But when she's scared of her feelings, emotional intimacy feels dangerous, so she puts up walls. Third sign, she watches you but pretends she doesn't. You catch her looking at you when she thinks you're not paying attention. She views your stories within minutes but takes hours to reply to your messages. She remembers small details about your life that you barely mentioned, even things from weeks ago. That's not casual interest. That's someone who's replaying your conversations in her head. Fourth sign, she mentions other guys but never seriously. She'll casually drop that someone asked her out, that her ex texted, or that a guy at work is flirting with her. But there's no real excitement in it. She's testing your reaction. Will you get jealous? Will you pull away? Will you fight for her? The right response is calm indifference with a hint of amusement. Fifth sign, her friends act strange around you. They give you knowing looks, seem surprised when she acts distant, or even say things like, she talks about you all the time. If her friends are invested or creating opportunities for you two to be alone, it's because she's been talking about you a lot. Now, here's what you should do instead of chasing or walking away completely. Give her space, but don't disappear. Match her energy. Not out of pettiness, but out of self-respect. If she pulls back, you pull back too. Stay consistent, but not clingy. Check in occasionally with something light and specific, like, saw this and thought of you. Show her you're still interested, but you're not putting your life on hold. Live fully, hit the gym, pursue your goals, spend time with friends. When she sees you thriving without needing her constant attention, her fear starts to fade because she realizes you're a man who is secure in himself. There's one important exception though. Some women aren't scared of feelings. They're addicted to the chase. The difference is simple. A woman who's genuinely scared will slowly let her resistance decrease over time if you're patient and consistent. A chase-addicted woman will keep pulling away no matter what. Final truth, you can't force someone to stop being afraid, but you can become the kind of man who makes fear feel unnecessary. Focus on building yourself. Stay interested without becoming obsessed. Because the moment you become obsessed with her, you've already lost not just her, but yourself. If this resonated with you, drop a comment with the word feeling, so I know you're paying attention. And make sure to subscribe because next week I'm revealing the exact text message that makes a scared woman start chasing you. You won't want to miss it.